Thank you, Hugh Hewitt. Larry O'Connor here, and I cannot wait for this hour. I've been waiting all week. This hour, we are going to feature strong, amazing, phenomenal, conservative women. The women who make our movement breathe, make it thrive, make it worthwhile to get up every day and check the internet to see what they're doing. And while the internet has been ablaze, not just the internet, cable news, everywhere you go, it's been ablaze this week with the story of this strong, phenomenal conservative woman. She also happens to be the governor of Arizona. Jan Brewer, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, hello, Larry. It's great to be with you. Wow, what an introduction.
Yeah, well, you deserve it. And Governor Brewer, your book, Scorpions for Breakfast, as if it didn't make enough splash last year when it hit, you couldn't have hoped for a better bit of publicity as it rounds the corner moving toward Paperbackville, right?
Very unexpected. I'm grateful for it because it's a good story.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that it speaks so well not only of who you are and the fact that you so ferociously protect the people of your state, and who wouldn't want that in a governor, but it really speaks to the president and his thin skin and so much about his personality. Let's walk the listeners through this in case they missed it. You as the governor of Arizona standing at the tarmac in Phoenix waiting for Air Force One to touch down, and the president comes down the steps. What happens next?
He says, "Hi, Jan." I said, "Hello, Mr. President. Welcome to Arizona. We kept the sun up for you." And then he shook my hand, and I started to tell him about how happy I was that he was here, and that I was glad he was coming firsthand to see part of the Arizona comeback. We have been so successful in turning Arizona around that we were grateful that he was here. And he immediately turned the subject to my book, Scorpions for Breakfast, and indicated that he wasn't too happy with me in the way that I portrayed him in the book. And I felt very uneasy, to say the least.
Yeah, it's an awkward moment.
It was stated, and at the time that it was said, and I tried to tell him that I believed in what I wrote in that book, that it was the truth and that I stand by it.
Well, it's definitely, it's such an awkward moment for the president to do that, and in what really is a cordial and somewhat ceremonial moment as the governor greets the president in your state. But what I read and what you conveyed to the reporters there, the pool reporters at that moment, I think you're being generous when you say he didn't like the way you portrayed him in the book. He used a very specific word. He said that you had not treated him cordially. Is that really how he put it?
Well, I don't know if it was well, he thought that we had a cordial visit when we were in Washington, D.C., and I said that. I said it was a cordial visit. But it doesn't mean that we agreed and that he had delivered anything to me. But I was at the White House just leaving the office, the Oval Office, with him telling me that he was going to somewhat help me, that he would be sending people out to Arizona in 2 weeks. He was going to put more people on the border. And so I felt, okay, maybe we did make some headway. So I was grateful that I had his ear. I wasn't going to blow it all up on the lawn of the White House.
Right.
But I certainly felt that he had talked down to me and that he was very patronizing to me. I wanted to talk about border security. He wants to talk about amnesty. And we agreed at that meeting to disagree agreeably. I want my border secured. I believe America wants their border secured, and I'm not going to back down. And I will always hold the office of the president in respect. And I did not disrespect him on the tarmac. I wrote him a very gracious letter telling him about the Arizona turnaround, about what we have accomplished here. I invited him in the last sentence to join me again, to go down to the border to see what it was like, and offered again to buy him lunch. I was in good spirits. But he wasn't going to have any of it.
Wow, even offering to buy him lunch, that is more than any other governor I know would do. So now the image, I think, that has really made its way around the internet and on cable news is this picture of you pointing your finger up at the president. Can you relate to us what was being said at that moment? Do you remember?
I really can't, Larry. I talk, I'm animated, I talk, I guess, a lot with my hands. People tell me that I do. You just do it unconsciously. But I certainly was not being disrespectful. I can tell you that, because I was taken so far aback by his statements that at that point in time, I wouldn't have been moving probably. I was, a little bit stunned, to say the least.
Sure.
But I'm sure I was talking, and I'm sure maybe I raised my hand up, and it was a moment in time when that shot took place. But I'm not backing down.
And, as I said, introducing this hour, I'm talking to strong, dynamic conservative women and their role in the movement right now. And I am astounded at how you are being treated by members of the liberal left media when they are suggesting this has been described as you wagging your finger at the president. It's a very sexist kind of thing, I think.
It's been outrageous. I mean, why they do that, I guess, is because they think they can get away with it, and obviously they can, but they go after conservative Republican women constantly, and they never share that horrible stuff with any of our Democrat colleagues, but it's always the conservative women, and we have been the end of that kind of insult and bad reporting and misleading the public to such extremes that I really truly believe that they're digging a big, deep hole and people are seeing through it.
Yeah.
It is so horrible.
Another line of attack against you, Governor Brewer. And you must listen, Scorpions for Breakfast is the perfect name for your book, because I don't know any woman in politics who has been attacked the way you have over the last 2 years, merely for carrying out the wishes of your constituency, of your voters, and fighting on behalf of the citizens of your state. That said, one of the predictable attack against you on MSNBC last night. And listen, of course, I work at Breitbart TV, so I watch MSNBC, so you, Governor Brewer, don't have to. But we have a clip. We had a clip today at Breitbart TV where one of the analysts, she likened you, responding to the president on the tarmac like that. She compared you to a woman in segregationist South back in the 50s, screaming and complaining about the fact that black students were coming into her school. That famous iconic photograph. Can you believe? What is your? I'm sure this may be the first time you're hearing this. Do you have any response to this? That for some reason you were animated by racial animus toward the president?
They, like Ronald Reagan would say, "There they go again." They want to use that race card, don't they? All the time. That is so tasteless. It's and it is the first time I've heard it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry for being the bearer of bad news on that one.
Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but it is. They just can't do enough of it, can they?
No.
The hatred business of it, And what really, really frosts me is that, of course, those of us that have been raised in the Southwest and have lived in the Southwest, we have such a diverse population. Oh, you don't even give it a second thought. And I certainly, as reflected in my book, was never raised as a racist, ever.
Of course.
Ever.
Governor